I put the mic a little closer so it might not be so quiet. Sorry, it's kind of still in the experimental phase. I'm planning on getting a new mic. But anyways, back into Seduce Me. Kickstarter. Demo. It's a long demo. Thank you for sticking with me, if you have. Anyways, away I go. Gathering my courage, I decided that it was time to talk. Dad, could I ask you something?
Go ahead.
Why did you want me to move into the States so soon?
I thought I made that rather clear. The college near your grandfather's house is well known for its business program. You're planning to major in business, yes? Right after you graduate from high school, you'll just live there and can easily commute to and from school. It's a perfect fit for you.
But it's so sudden. You decided so quickly right after the funeral.
Don't be so sensitive. If you're like that in the real world, you'll be crushed.
I'm just saying that maybe we could talk a bit more about my future.
After you graduate from college, you'll work at Anderson Family Toys. I have connections since I am part of the board of directors, so you will be guaranteed a spot. That is...
Oh, sorry.
After you graduate from college, you'll work at Anderson Family Toys. I have connections since I am part of the board of directors, so you will be guaranteed a spot. That is what we talked about before, yes?
Funny enough, I can't get enough of Mr. Anderson's voice because I believe it's the guy who plays Levi in Attack on Space. And I just don't know what to do with myself. I want to hate him because he's a jerk, but... the voice... Something wrong with me. But what if...
Stop mumbling.
What if I don't want to work there?
Don't be so silly. It's the family company. Our company. I'm not just gonna hand it over to some incompetent vice chairman.
He came closer to me and his face softened.
Look, this is all for the best, okay? You might not know it now, but you'll appreciate it later.
For some reason, when I heard him say that, something snapped in me. Wasn't exactly sure what it was, but it made me feel so angry. Do you even care that grandfather passed away?
Of course I do.
Well, everything seems fine and dandy to you. Things couldn't be better.
Excuse me. I don't like your tone, young lady.
It's like nothing ever happened. Like you just ignore the fact that he's no longer here.
Don't raise your voice at me!
What did he ever do to deserve this? My father, his face hardened, crossed his arms, and erupted in angry laughter.
You sure place him upon a pedestal, like he's some kind of venerated god or something. It makes me sick.
Is that it? Are you happy to see Grandfather dead? While everyone was grieving, were you holding yourself back from laughing in everyone's faces? Did you feel a bit happier seeing him lie in the graveyard? Flash of rage crossed his face, and he whipped the back of his hand across my cheek.
You don't know anything! Running your mouth like you somehow know everything that went on, when you're just a little girl that doesn't know how to keep her mouth shut! You did not know my father! You did not know what he was capable of!
Is everything all right? What happened?
Nothing. I'm not hungry. I think I'll just go upstairs.
Honey, wait!
I quickly turned and ran up the stairs to my room, slamming the door behind me. My breath came in short pants. After a while, I leaned against the door to my bedroom and eventually slid down to sit against it. How did things become like this? My cheek still throbbed, and I tentatively stood up and looked in the mirror to see how it looked. Hopefully it doesn't bruise. What am I saying? Tears formed in the corner of my eyes, but I blinked them back rapidly. I couldn't cry for the second time today. I had to be stronger than that.
Are you all right? Your father told me nothing happened, but you know your father.
It's fine. I lost my appetite.
The lasagna's done, though, and I don't want you skipping any meals. Are you sure?
Yeah, don't worry about me, Mom. I'll come downstairs later to eat.
You're not telling me the whole story.
I just don't want to eat right now.
Please, dear. Tell me what's going on. I wish you would tell me why you're being like this. Well, I'll leave your food on the table if you want to eat it later.
Finally, Mom left me alone. It was strange to think that she was only a few inches away from me, separating only by a single wooden door. I really didn't know what to do. I needed to do something, anything, to get my mind off of what just happened. Anything would be better than thinking about the pain that still radiated from my cheek. I was going to move to my grandfather's house tomorrow. I should probably pack my stuff so I would be prepared for tomorrow. Yeah, that was a good idea. I should start packing. I opened the closet and rummaged around for a while before I finally found 2 large bags. Pulling them out and dragging them on the floor, and then I began to empty my drawers and cabinets so I could bring all my things with me. I didn't have much to bring other than clothes and some toiletries. It was kind of bizarre not that I didn't have so many personal belongings. It wasn't like my luggage was completely devoid of them, but I certainly didn't have many things in my room that I would miss if I suddenly left the house. I shook my head to rid myself of the thoughts. If I were going to my new home, I would make it feel like it one way or another. I was going to make it a home.
You turn the tables on me now. You drop me in your cage somehow. I can never escape from you, but baby, that's alright.
Okay. I was just packing my things. My cell phone began ringing and vibrating in my pocket. I slipped the phone out of my pocket and answered it while slowly easing myself onto my bed. Who could possibly be calling?
Hey, Anderson, you there? Is everything all right? We were worried about you, so we decided to call. Hello?
I'm really glad you guys called. My voice managed to come out, though it was only a whisper.
What happened? Are you okay?
Well, I slowly began to tell them about the funeral that afternoon. A small silence followed when I was done recounting what happened, and to my relief, Naomi finally spoke up.
I can't begin to imagine how you must be feeling right now.
No, it's okay. Oh.
I can't begin
sorry.
to imagine how you must be feeling right now. I'm so sorry. Do you want us to come over right now?
No, it's okay. My dad isn't in a good mood. So could we just keep talking on the phone like this?
Of course! We'd stay on the phone until the crack of dawn. Right, Suzu? Yeah. We're always here if you need us. After all, we wouldn't be the awesome triple threat trio without you, right?
Yeah.
Triple threat trio? That sounds like the name of a gang. Yeah, I mean, we're all taking on the world together. We've got to sound somewhat scary, or else no one's going to take us seriously. What's with you and naming things? You've got to step up your game, Naomi. Falling behind to the cool kids like Anderson and me. Tisk, tisk. Hey! I'm a cool kid! If anything, I'd say you'd have to step up your game.
Okay, Naomi. Okay. We chatted cheerfully about all sorts of things. Very soon I had forgotten about the events of the day, and I engaged in a conversation about Naomi's favorite TV show, a program called Herlock. Get it? We all agreed the actor playing the titular character can't read. Whoa, what has come of me and my reading skills? Actually, I was never good at reading out loud. That's why I have the channel, to help me. And play games. was certainly a certainly had a very distinct look about him, with that long overcoat and scarf wrapped around his neck. We had many disagreements about who we thought was the coolest character. Yeah, he has really high cheekbones, and his eyes are pretty, though I'd have to say I prefer Jatson. As a bonus, his character is just so sassy. I looked at the clock hanging on the wall and realized how late it was. Whoa, it's already 1 a.m.? Sorry to keep you guys up so late. I think I'm gonna hit the hay for tonight. See you at school tomorrow. I should probably shower and go to bed. I can't believe I stayed up this late just to talk to my friends. But it was really nice. Well, to the bathroom I go. TMI, Mika. TMI. I took a relaxing shower. Nothing beat hot water and the feeling of being clean. After drying myself, I promptly dressed in my pajamas and crawled into bed. A nice hot shower after a long day. So glad to finally be going to bed. It had been a really long day. I knew I was wishing for something to change back in the class, but it certainly wasn't expecting any of the things that happened today. And I have to go back to school tomorrow. Ugh. I curled up on my side and tightly wrapped the blankets around me. I really wasn't in the mood to be returning to school, but Dad would probably make me go just for the sake of it. It's time to go to sleep. I reached out in the lamp in my nightstand just to turn off the lights. However, my mind was so lost in the passing of my grandfather that the thought of inheriting something so big haunted my mind the entire night until the next morning. I shook my head to clear the sleepiness out of me, to no avail. I didn't really get any sleep last night. It's time to wake up. Wait, school? As soon as I realized I had to go to school, I slid out of bed and looked in the vanity mirror. That's a relief. Luckily, there was barely a bruise on my cheek. You'd have to squint to actually see it. No doubt that anyone would actually notice unless they leaned in really close. Breathing out a sigh, I got dressed, took my backpack, and caught the bus to go to school. It wasn't even hours before everyone had heard the news. I was approached in school giving condolences for my loss. However, that wasn't what shocked my friends.
Wait, so you have the whole Anderson house to yourself? Lucky as hell, man! Quit being so sensitive, Naomi.
Quit being so vulgar, Suzu.
Suzu's right. I got a huge house, motherfucker! I'm sorry. I'm so not Mika.
Of course you would side with her.
Ha! See? At least she knows how to have fun.
I know how to have fun. You don't need to be wild to have fun.
Guys, I'm going there after school today because my parents want me to get used to living there.
Seriously? It hasn't even been a day since you came back to school.
I know, but my parents want me to try living there as soon as possible.
Still, that's really fast. Are you going to be okay?
Of course. But even in the comfort of my best friends, it seemed like life kept testing me. Ugh.
Hey! Don't go around shoving people like that.
Whoops. Did I strike a nerve, Capini?
She let out a small laugh and twirled her hair around her finger. Lisette, one of the last people I wanted to see today.
It's not me you should be apologizing to.
Oh, Anderson. Hey, how's it going?
Oh my god. Sorry. I'm alright.
Haven't you already heard, Lisette?
Of what?
Her grandfather's passing.
Well, I'm sorry about that. I don't really watch a lot of news.
It doesn't really sound like you mean it.
I do mean it. earnestly. Why wouldn't I?
Typical Capini. Isn't her family involved with the mafia or something? I wouldn't be surprised if she brought out a bat from behind her back right this moment.
This moment. That's so cool. I'd nearly forgotten about the crowd that followed Lizette, which mostly comprised of people that no one wanted to see on a typical school day. No one had the slightest idea why exactly they followed Lizette around the school persistently. They labeled themselves as social equals to her.
That is out of line! Suzu comes from an honest family!
Says the one whose family profits from political scandals.
Yeah, your dad doesn't make anything unless he's in the court with dirty politicians.
Hey, let's all calm down for a second, alright? I'm sure Anderson needs some time to recuperate. I mean, what just happened? We need to give her some respect.
From what I see of the story, I assume that they're all going to kind of like a boarding school or some shit. It can't be a typical school because I couldn't see a typical school selling soda and like spicy fries and chicken, whatever that people would actually want to eat. And most of them seem to have like, it's kind of like Orin High School, like they all seem to have some important families or whatever, and everyone seems to know about it, so I'm assuming that it's kind of like a private school-ish type thing. I'm not sure. That's what I'm assuming. And that's why there's like a business class, because high school, I don't know, maybe my high school is just ghetto. We didn't have a business program. We did for a year, and the guy disappeared. It was weird. Anyway, just stop. Stop acting like that already. Like you feel sorry for me.
What are you talking about?
I'm sure you're happy to see me like this. You already have everything you've ever wanted, and now seeing me like this, life couldn't get any better. Bitterness swept through me, words started flying out of my mouth without a filter. But honestly, I didn't care. I was so consumed by anger that I only saw Lizette in front of me. What exactly am I to you? Just another part of your obstacle course? Is that what I am? I'm sick of it, Lizette. I'm sick of all these charades, and I'm sick of you. Gasps rose from the crowd around her. I was brought back to the school hallway, but even my friends looked at me in surprise. One girl looked like she was going to speak up, but Lizette held her hand up to stop her. There was an emotion on her face that I couldn't quite make out, but I could see there was a form of pity in her eyes. No, don't you dare pity me. I looked away from her, and I didn't want to see that emotion in her eyes when she was talking to me. I saw it before, and when I did, all of the restraint inside me broke.
I'm sorry. I know your grandfather passing away must have really taken a toll on your emotions.
I think Lizette's evil. She has to be evil. She stepped towards me and put her hand on my shoulder, giving me a tiny smile for old time's sake. But for some reason, I didn't feel comforted at all. Not that I was just angry at her, but the expression on her face when she leaned in close contorted into something complex. Something was different about her. I couldn't quite place my finger on it, but something about her had definitely changed.
Well, I'll be going for now. Track meet responsibilities and all of that stuff. See you later.
She's definitely evil. Something about Lizette made me feel uncomfortable. I wasn't just angry, but also uneasy. What was it? I had never seen her like that before. but I decided to pay no further attention to it. She continued to run down the hallway with a gaggle of friends behind her. I refocused my attention to Miss Phillips, who was walking down the hall towards me.
Is everything all right, girls?
Nothing we couldn't handle, Mrs. P. Just a bunch of snobs.
Suzu, hush! It was nothing, Mrs. Phillips.
I see. Well, Miss Anderson, please accept my condolences for your loss.
Thank you, Miss Phillips.
Your grandfather was a good man. He really upheld the philanthropy of his company's policies, and the money that went towards charity, too.
I know. He was amazing. I really looked up to him, and I want to be as good as he was.
Well, I know that you'll be as great as your grandfather.
Hell yeah, she will. She'll be 10 times better than her grandfather.
Would I? Would I really be better than my grandfather? Everyone seemed to have high expectations for me. I wanted to do my best and make my family proud. But to be better than my grandfather? I wasn't even sure about that. From outside the school window, I saw a familiar blue car pull up to the curb, and undoubtedly it had my father in the front seat. Oh, my ride's here. I guess I'll see you both tomorrow.
Want us to come with you?
No, it's okay. I'll be fine. See you. Hey, Dad.
Hey, honey.
As I got in the car, I noticed my father looked troubled, clutching his hands on the steering wheel and staring straight ahead as if something was really bothering him.
About what happened yesterday. I'm sorry for yelling at you.
No, it's nothing to worry about.
I mean it. I shouldn't have laid a finger on you. You know that you're my most precious daughter. You're all I have.
Yet, he couldn't bring himself to say it, what he really never could say to me for such a long time. I wanted to hear those words to affirm how he really felt, but I guess even now he couldn't say it to me. I just turned my head and looked out the window. There was no point in waiting for something that was never going to come. And like that, he started to drive. The conversation between us ended. I decided to focus my attention on the passing scenery. You know what? This is the start of a new scene I just remembered, so I'm gonna leave it here. Okay? Okay. I will see you in the next video. Okay.